What's up? Like I always say, morning scrubs. I was so excited I passed out in my Piston jersey. A lot of excitement yesterday. But as promised, I decided to answer your questions for those who donated. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that's been going on as of late, people. They don't like to send out notifications and things like that. My reading light. When I sit here and read, it's actually good to read, children. It actually helps. Now, for the people that donated on the Cash App, saying why I don't do any more truth behind videos. I do truth behind videos. I just don't label all of them the truth behind. I've been targeted by a number of people on the internet, and because of it, they made me public enemy number one. Now every day I gotta fight with YouTube for them to do what they. Well, they're gonna try it again. Well, you saw the picture with me with the Thanos glove, cause I'm the Thanos of this whole thing. And they all joining together like superpowers to try to take me down. Shame. Shamefulness. They all should be ashamed. Now, now that we're here at this point, what should we do? Uh, Listen, we'll go to the second question they had on there. Um, Pac-Man Jones Las Vegas shooting incident. Yogi, I will talk about that as much as I can, and we'll move on from there. But it's not really a real topic of discussion. A lot of people are going to want to engage in because it's been gone. He's been in another incident since then. Um, but we'll talk about as much as we can talk about that. I'm not at the Errol Spence fight. That's what he said. Why are you not at the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight? I'm not there because one, I didn't want to be working out there in Texas. Rather be here and enjoy the fight from home. And to tell you the truth, that's more like fandom for me. Like I make more money on the fight here at home than I do going to the fight, doing my job, interviewing, doing everything else. You feel me? So if I'm making money doing that, sorry about that. People trying to get notifications that have not been sent out. Now, let's take a look at what's transpiring here. I make more money sitting at home doing it or going to the fights than I ever made going to the fights, doing the interviews, cutting video, coming home. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is a great time. It is a great opportunity to meet people, to engage with people, but it is exhausting too. And it's a lot of work when you're there. Now, if you're just going to the fight, that's cool. But if you're there to do interviews, um, chop video up, it's task. It's a tedious task. Then you got other reporters there. They're all after it. They're using every dirty tactic in the book. Every dirty tactic in the book. Why don't you talk about the crimes in Chicago? Another rapper in Chicago was killed. Why y'all keep killing y'all rappers, Chicago? Talk about that. I heard there was a rapper in Chicago named Lil Whopper or something that was murdered. And the reason why I don't talk about stuff like that with Chicago rappers is some of these little, I rarely talk about them from anywhere. Like Little Molly's and Little Zans. I don't know these dudes. This is not my era of hip hop. So I rarely talk about these things. And I won't do it just for hits. But this guy they call, what's his name? Little Whopper or Little Chopper or something like that. I don't know him. Just because someone's from Chicago don't mean I know him. And I don't know of him from a music standpoint. But a lot of Chicago rappers, and I do mean a lot of them, are heavily gang affiliated. And a lot of their music is connected to what they do. And they might be talking in their music about somebody from another block. And once you champion that and champion that artist, you basically co-signing what they doing. So next thing you know, somebody might have a problem with that dude, see you, and be like, oh, you big up and dude. You ain't never bigged up us. When we mashing, we at war. You don't know about all that. Next thing you know, you getting shot at. I got a friend that's gone because of that. He was just shooting a music video. He had no connection with nothing. And then he's dead. For shooting a music video, shot in the head. So, it's not worth it. Let me see. What other question we got? Y'all sent some crazy questions. Mary J. Blige or Alicia Keys. Why they keep trying to put Alicia Keys over Mary J. Blige? She's the queen of hip hop, R&B, soul, and they're trying to make Alicia Keys the face of hip hop soul. Why? Because she's a half breed who's dating another half breed. I'm not going for that. You need to speak on that, Cino. I appreciate your donation. And no, I don't see anybody putting Alicia Keys in any position like this. Alicia Keys is an artist. You know, she's actually a soulful artist, plays the piano, and is entirely different from Mary J. I mean, I'm exhausted. But I had a lot of people donate, and I appreciate all the love. And definitely hit up the Cash App or hit the Streamlab up. Click that link in there. And we can get to it. What they're asking me is pretty interesting, but a lot of this don't have nothing to do with me. Like, I've never put Mary J against Alicia Keys or never saw anybody try to replace Mary J. Blige with Alicia Keys. But it's crazy to me how we as people compare. And not only compare, actually put up against each other. Like, I never say nobody do Britney Spears versus Christina Aguilera. Never. Just saying. So my thing is there are two different type of artists. Mary's good at not writing but cover songs and performing songs in a way that other people, she'll do it her own way. She got her own jazzy way of doing the cover songs that connects with people, and a lot of people relate to Mary. She's that around the way girl. She's not your traditional R&B artist or singer. You know, you need to check Hassan Campbell. He's out of pocket talking to Jay Prince like that. Houston, stand up. We ain't gonna let this clown who got raped. Oh, I'm not finna go through all that. I see what you're trying to say, and what you're trying to say really don't. It's not getting there. I know what you're trying to do, but it's not really reaching its mark. Let me. I have not seen Hassan Campbell. I've seen clips of what people are sending me about what he's been saying about Jay Prince. Let me say this and say, I don't know this guy. Because I don't know him, I can't really speak about him. Somebody was like, he was a rape victim of African Bambatas or somebody, I'm assuming. That's what only people are telling me. Um, if that was the case, I'm sorry. He went through a traumatic experience. People told me he's been to prison. People told me he's a liar, a snitch. I don't know anything about this guy. Okay? And I say that to say this. Just because I don't know them doesn't mean that they can't have an opinion. They can't be right about him, or people can be right about him. Now, I told you how I felt about what Mr. Prince said and what his message was trying to say. And that's how it was relayed over to me. Now, if I understood it and it went over everybody else's head, then maybe they needed to have a conversation with the man to find out what he meant to say. And I think they kind of jumped the gun without really hearing what he had to say or understood first. So I'm quite sure they had a conversation about all that. Now, from what I know, he said something very disrespectful to James Prince. Then he apologized for saying that. And I guess social media jumped on his back for caving or something like that. And then he comes back harder, and everybody's like, whoa, he's back. It's like, what? Yo, dude's back harder now. He ain't playing. Now I'm just like, I don't know what is he doing it for hits, traffic, or whatever. But James Prince has always been involved in programs to help nonviolence. The guns down, hands up, that promotes people to put the guns down. And if you got a problem, fight. Fight with your hands. Don't kill them, but don't kill nobody. Put them hands up. You know, he was advocating the nonviolence, putting the guns down. That was less than a year ago. We sat here in Chicago. He sat down with the leaders here in Chicago during the height of the murder crisis that was happening in this city. Sat down with some of these leaders out here to see about what are the right steps in getting the violence in Chicago toned down. So I know he did these things. No, he's saying hands up. Like if you got a problem and it can't be resolved with shooting somebody, y'all can fight it out. If it gotta come down to it, fight it out. But don't take somebody's life. You know, put these guns down. There's another solution. So nobody's advocating violence. He's just saying, look, if y'all gotta do something, scrap. You know how many people in Chicago is not here or around the world that's not here no more because they was afraid to scrap? I ain't finna waste my time fighting. There's one kid around here gone now because he got in a fight defending his sister and he beat the guy up and the guy was embarrassed, so the guy shot him. You know, it's just crazy. So they're trying to keep the violence down, keep the nonsense where it should be. You know? So that is what it is with him. Now, on that question, uh, thank you guys all for the donations. I appreciate all of it too. Streamlabs, if you got to go to Cash App, I'm Karceno on there. You guys have been keeping it going. You crack me up talking about LeBron. Dude just needs to shut his whole. I put it in the thumbnail too. Yeah, that was one of the funniest clips they sent me with LeBron. He had the penny up there. Um, yeah, LeBron do need to cut his hair. I agree. I mean, right. I mean, he looked like George Jefferson or somebody. Dude, just cut it. He trying to hold on to whatever little bit of hip hop he got left. I'm telling you, he need to go to that restore. Talk to Deion Sanders and Brian Urlacher. I'm telling you, Braun, they got this procedure. They go to the back of your head, and I know you got hair all over your body. They can just take some off the back of your neck and just go ahead and put it right on the top. Look just like I did when I was young. Tell you, Braun, that's gonna work. It's gonna work, Braun. And I tell you, it's gonna restore your powers. You gonna think you 22 years old again, Braun. Watch. You're going to be jumping in the air, flying in the sky. Watch. You're going to be jumping out that gym, bro. For real? I was thinking about getting that too. Yeah, kind of cover up these patches in the back. Yeah. Yeah, I might get that. It's going to give you wings, bro. Look what it did to your boy. Look what it did to your boy. Huh? Look what it did to your boy. I'm back in the game, baby. Oh no, this is my hair. This is all me. Feel that. He might as well just cut it all off. He's bald. He paid what, $9,000 for them to sew that little strip in front of his head. It's like, y'all just cut it off. I mean, Michael Jordan, he got hit with baldness and said, you know what? Screw it. Shave it off. Mike already had a low cut. Then the hair started going. He's just like, screw it. It's done. I'm bald. And that's just that. Yeah. I love him. You know, you get on my. You talk about LeBron James 24/7. Oh, thanks for the donation, man. That was crazy, crazy amount of money. But I appreciate the love. He says, okay, this is a typo, but even though I like LeBron James, I had to admit you've opened my eyes to a lot about him. I thought you were just hating on LeBron, but a lot of your stuff you said has been legit. Respect. Hey, no problem, man. Um, I know it seems like I'm hating on LeBron a lot. It would seem like that, right? But like I told everybody, I said, well, if I'm hating on him, then what is ESPN doing? What is Fox Sports 1 doing? If I'm talking about LeBron too much. You see how they'll say, you talk about LeBron all the time. They talk about LeBron all the time. And I told you, I said, the moment they don't talk about LeBron, then I won't talk about LeBron. But as long as they gonna keep feeding you lies about him 24/7, I'm gonna keep telling you the truth about him 24/7. So if you've been watching all my videos like you said you've been doing, you would know that. me see. This is stupid. I don't know if I should trust purchasing this offset CD. He's like, I don't know if I should get it. The guy on the streets was selling it for $5 on a CD. Should I buy it? You donated $5 to tell me should you buy a $5 CD. I appreciate it. Yes, it's actually a good CD. You don't have a streaming service to your phone? You can listen to it on YouTube. But if you need a physical copy in your car or something and you can't find one at the store, I guess buy it. I mean, if you want me to judge the music, it's worth it. It's his best music that I've heard from him. But I guess bootleg CDs are still in demand. I wonder what happened to the bootleg VHS guy. Like, that guy was something else. Hank. Wonder what happened to him. Did he ever evolve the DVDs? He had an apartment building that in this apartment was nothing but, like, I swear, about 35 VCRs. And they just all running from tied up to each other, like racks on racks and racks of VCRs. And he was just recording. All recording one movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ. This dude was on it. As soon as it's at the theaters outside, he had that VHS tape running. And I don't know what happened to him. See, no. Will you review Schoolboy Q's new CD? Like, I heard you speak about him once. He don't get enough props. You're right. He don't get enough props. I will be reviewing it. I haven't had a chance to sit down with it yet. See, I like to sit down with the music. Oh, it's funny you said that. This guy right here. Hey, Karceno, I got a business. It's illegal, but it's not drugs. I sell things from like pens, uh, coloring books for children. I buy them at the dollar store, and then or the thrift shop, and I go on the streets and I sell them to the people. This is my side hustle. I spent like 2 to 3 hours after my job. Okay, after my job, I spend 2 to 3 hours a day doing these things, selling children movies, etc. If I want to expand my business of hustling, how can I go about doing that? Well, it's hard to expand something that's illegal. Um, uh, that what you're doing. I mean, so basically, you're running a flea market. If the flea market, find out where the local flea market is. I don't know where you at, sir, but if you're in the flea market place, I mean, I would suggest going to a flea market to sell your items, but you say it's illegal, and it might not be worth it for you to do that, to pay that fee. You might not sell anything. I would then, I would take my talents that I got and try to use that to my advantage. If you're selling children's books and things for kids, then you need to go to a 24-hour laundromat or any laundromat on the weekends. I don't know what time you get off work. I don't know any of this. But laundromats. Going to laundromats, you'll probably see a wife with her kids. That'll be the perfect time to sell them your DVDs for kids. And that's the best way to sell DVDs for kids. Anything new at the theater and you got it bootleg, that's the perfect spot to sell it. You can go there or markets, any place where there be women and children. I would say a laundromat is safer than a supermarket. Supermarket might be too much exposure. But laundromat, they can't go nowhere. They gonna be there washing clothes. You got their full attention. Barbershop too, but the barbershop owners are a little bit more pricks. They gonna want to cut. They gonna want three of your movies and your product. So laundromat, you can go in there, won't know who own it, nothing. You won't see the owner. So there you go. Karceno, who's the best female rapper of all times? Best female rapper of all times? And thank you for your donation, dude. That was a handsome size donation just for that question. But like I said, you guys want to donate to the page, hit the Cash App up, Karceno, if you got a Cash App. If you want to go through the Streamlab, you know the donate button's there. You can leave questions and we'll answer them. Uh, Female rapper. I don't see anybody that was a better dispenser of lyrics than Raw. Raw Digger was just it. I mean, she's just was incredible. I mean, to literally hold her own at the Lyricist Lounge with dudes, you don't know how rare that is. MC Light had the best album of all times from a female rapper. To me, Eyes on This is probably the best female rap record ever made. A lot of female artists go unnoticed. But right now, the female rap game is a lot stronger right now than the men game right now. Female rappers are coming up. They're coming up. They're not getting the shine, but they got that underground a lot. Missy was the jack of all trades. She could do presentation, delivery, style. She just had it all. She was the artist. She was special. She is special. And she didn't have the look. She wasn't trying to be naked. Oh, here it is. I thought you were a Piston fan. Why are you always talking about Golden State and jumping on their nuts? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the donation. I like Golden State because they beat LeBron James. Anybody but him. Now, plus they play the game the right way. They play basketball over there. I don't know. Everybody's trying to be them. Nobody trying to be Bron. What was your favorite pair of Jordans? My favorite pair of Jordans? Uh, I would have to say the second pair. I don't think he's ever had a pair of Jordans that was better than the second pair. A lot of people like the 20s too. I bought my brother the 20s. I wasn't a Jordans guy. We answered that, Mr. Beasley. Just so happened we answered that earlier. Thanks, Karceno, for the business advice. Could you give us advice on how to start a... What is this? Oh, okay. A mental therapist place. I don't know about how to start a mental therapist business. You're gonna have to go look that up or go into that practice. I don't have any information on. I guess you would set it up how you would do any other business, but mental therapy business, I don't. Oh, we got another donated question on here. Odell Beckham is in Cleveland. That's my town. That's my city. You hate on us, but watch, we're gonna be the city of champions now. We're gonna win the Super Bowl in our first year. Now that we got Odell, when we beat Tom Brady and go to the Super Bowl, I don't want you to jump on our ick. All right. When you say you don't want somebody to jump on your ick and then you put much love, that's really weird. You shouldn't do that. Now, the Cleveland Browns going to the Super Bowl is fool's gold. Okay, you guys are the city of losers. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You guys known to choke. If you got 1 second to go and you win it by 10, you will find a way to lose that game. Listen, no, Mr. One-Eyed Guy. I answer y'all questions every day. They can't get one video, one day of shine for the people that take time to donate. They can't get something that's just for them. But I will say something about Tariq Hill. Tariq Hill will be in the Cleveland Browns uniform real soon. Just kidding. Let me find another question. Most of these, they're not even questions. They're just like, what's up? So, why do they hate on James Harden so much? I don't see them giving this hate to Paul George. They don't hate on Giannis. He can't even shoot the ball. All he can do is dunk the ball. And they act like he's the greatest thing in the game. I like Giannis because he plays defense, but come on. He's not James Harden. He's not Kevin Durant. And they still praising LeBron James. This is getting tired and old. You got to speak on this. Why they be disrespecting my man Harden like that? Nobody's doing what he's doing since Will Chamberlain. Um, the reason they hate on James Harden is because James Harden's personality. Like he's not a very personable human being. Like anybody who knows who James Harden is, he's not combative. He's just in his own world. If it wasn't for those State Farm commercials that Chris Paul got him in, I don't think many of us would even know who or what James Harden was about. I know when he was with OKC, he had a commercial where the guy kept pulling his beard off. And I don't even think he talked in the whole commercial. That was the first commercial I ever seen him in. Let me see another question. We took a lot of questions. Who's the best beat maker, Pete Rock or Jam Master Jay? Ooh, that's a real good one. And thanks for the donation, bruh. That's what's up. Oh man, that is tough. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Pete Rock. And man, I'm gonna go with Pete Rock. And this is why I'm gonna go with Pete Rock. A lot of you guys don't know this is a tougher decision than you can ever imagine. I'm going with Pete Rock because Pete Rock elevated. He changed with the time. When Jam Master Jay tried to change with the time, it didn't translate over. See, people forget that album Run DMC had when they were trying to cross over into the young youth. They stopped wearing the black leather with the Dobbs hats. That Back from Hell album. That album was Run DMC's attempt to, I don't know, to survive. They were so far gone by the time that Back to Hell album came out. I remember buying that record when it came out. Heavy D album was out. That was out. I copped that. And from the album cover, they didn't look connected. And then Paul's was out at that time. So it was a whole different mood. But it didn't really translate over. Pete Rock, the ones and twos, everything, he was just linked. He was so locked in and making sure everything synchronized, and it had a signature, but it was able to translate through time. And that's something that they had, James Master Jay had, in the first Run DMC albums. But as he went on, and he was trying to get other stuff to pop, it just wasn't working. But he had that ear for it. Jay had them records. A lot of people didn't know, and a lot of people bit Jam Master Jay. They heard them records and was like, man, I need to get this beat that they had at Run DMC used. Where did Jay get that record? Jay used to find them records. Oh, Larry? Yeah, Larry Smith was something else. Oh, yeah. You want to donate to the page? Like I said, click the link in the description box and definitely hit the link up below. But great question. Let me see. Let me go back to Streamlab. See what's on the menu here. Karceno. What's up? I appreciate what you're doing. I just got a fun question for you. Right now, if you could smash Angela Yee, the girl from Hot 97, and I don't know who this girl is. Exandria, which one would you take? Well, I don't know Exandria. I don't know her. It's Angela Yee all day. It's Angela Yee all day. That's all I could tell you. Angela Yee all day. What's up, Karceno for life? You're my favorite channel. Academics is a punk and a snitch. He's cooperating with the feds. That's why he's been so quiet. Have you noticed that he's been very quiet? Of course I know he's been very quiet. I know why he's been very quiet. I told you why he's been very quiet, but in case you don't remember, I'll tell you again. Uh, He's being very quiet because he's trying to work on some new things with his branding. He's trying to rebrand himself. Have you noticed he's been like walking on eggshells lately? People could start forgetting how he became who he is, so he can try to put on a whole new shirt and walk around like he's really that guy. So yeah, he's trying to rebrand himself so he could be a respected journalist now. Let me go down there. Yo, I love the way you keep your foot on people's neck. You be telling the truth about these dudes. F the haters. They know you the truth. Yo, but what's up with Joe though? Is Sin really out there whole bagging? Let us know the truth, man. Don't pull no punches. Joe has always been a sucker and a drug addict. Listen, I guess you did this back when I did the thing about Joe Budden when he's talking about Safari and all that. The thing about Sin, I thought I told you that all I knew about her then is that how is she gonna be involved in a beef with Erica Mena, who's not even on the show no more? It's like, what could your beef be? Joe's proposed to you. You finna marry Joe. Knock yourself out. You know, like you got the baby. You got what you want. He got what he want. And that's that. Like, I don't really see. Like I tell you, there's 3 Joes. Okay? 3 Joes. There is Podcast Joe, who I like. I like Podcast Joe Budden. Podcast Joe Budden, that's the guy I'm cool with. Podcast Joe. Then there is the business doing this for the job, the State of the Union Joe. That guy is like, he's tolerable, but phony. That State of the Union Joe Budden. Then there's the Joe Budden I can't stand. And that's that Love and Hip Hop Joe Budden. Love and Hip Hop Joe Budden and me don't get along. State of the Culture Joe, he cool. I mean, he's doing it for the check. That's State of the Culture Joe. He's gonna be politically correct over there. That's gonna pay his bills. Then Love and Hip Hop Joe is a guy I just can't stand. So it's the 3 Joes. You said the Lakers should trade LeBron before anybody, Karceno. Now that they saying it on television and they're acting like they came up with it, everybody be biting you. I think these dudes be listening to you, Ceno. They are. Who would you trade LeBron for? Trade him for a quarter pounder, a number 3 from McDonald's. But realistically, anything you get back from LeBron, anything you get back from him is a bonus for you. And the reason why it's a bonus for you is because it don't cost you anything. Only thing LeBron's going to do is boost up your value of exposure for your team, which will boost up your bottom line. But you don't build a team around him. He's a 16-year player. Okay, he's played 16 years. You don't build a team around a 16-year-old player. You get people to complement that player. That player is there to help. A 16-year player in the league is on his last leg. They're helping a team that's they're building around the player. So they normally have. Do you think the Miami Heat is building around Dwayne Wade for his last year? You think the Dallas Mavericks are building around Dirk Nowitzki for his last 2 years? Derrick Rose should get any award there is. Comeback player of the year, six man of the year, whatever. Just give it all to Derrick. I mean, what else? I wouldn't give my team up for LeBron because it's been shown. Now, I've talked about it numerous of times, but it has been shown and proven that he's a team destroyer than he is a helper of your team. If you look at everything in its totality, you will see that LeBron James and we have just officially hit the 1 hour mark. 60 minutes, at least I think. LeBron James is definitely a player that at this point you're not going to gut your team to try to get. Or why would you, what would Jenny Buss get from him? Who will be stupid enough to offer something of seriousness besides draft picks? And right now, draft picks are valuable. I would have traded him to see who was going to bite. I would have tried to get some players like complementary players to what we already have in place. If I could have got Anthony Davis just for LeBron, I'd be like, look, how about y'all? Y'all want LeBron? I'd have gave up LeBron for Anthony Davis in a heartbeat. Right. If they nobody was gonna give up that. Who would give up Anthony Davis for LeBron? You got a guy that's in his 20s, and you finna trade him for a guy that's on his last leg. That would be the dumbest trade in history. Mm-mm. No, wherever I traded him, it would have been a lot different than where he went, where he ended up. I'll do one more and we'll shut it down. Uh, Let me see what's on. Uh, oh, a new one. Zion Williamson just destroyed the whole conference. What he did to North Carolina proved that if he didn't tear up those terrible Nike shoes he had on, he would have destroyed them then. Will Zion Williamson win a national championship, Karceno? Um, they're going to go to the national championship, but I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think he wins it. I think they lose in the championship game. It depends on how they seed it, but I don't think they'll have North Carolina and Duke on the same side. Can Tennessee will be a good game against them. That'll be a really good game against Duke. Tennessee is pretty tough. Well, when Zion was out, I wanted to see what Barnett was going to do. How will it improve his game? I think it exposed his game that he's not as good as what we thought he was going to be, and how much better Zion made him. What Zion just came out and proved is that he can be number one, period. Like the number one pick in the draft. A lot of people thought he should have sat down, but you got to realize this is a kid who's playing with these guys every day. There's a difference when you sit down and quit on these kids who've been playing with you and they believing in you, and you want to sit down so you can go to the NBA and get some money. When you're healthy to play, that's, as a kid, that don't sit well with your psyche. For a grown man who's in their 30s and 27 years of age, of course they're going to say, no, that's a business decision. You sit down. But this is a kid who's 18 years old. Playing with his teammates. He's not going to feel right if he sat down and didn't play. You understand? You're trying to make it in acting. Where are you from? You're better off making your own home movies, striking out in theater. Oh, you're in Chicago? Well, definitely you should try theater. Get in some local theater acts. You should have been at the Chicago Film Festival. Don't sign up for Empire or Chicago PD and Chicago Fire TV shows as extras. That's not going to get you anything in Hollywood. Not if you're trying to seriously be an actor. That's just a role for you to go around and tell people, I'm breaking into Hollywood. I was on Empire. That does nothing for you. Mr. X, you can go to the movie theater and watch the fight. They got to find out which theater has your fight and go see it. Matter of fact, the fight is going to be at Hooters. Check with your local Hooters to see which Hooters is going to have the fight. Me personally, I'll be at the movie theaters. If I get some rest. So let me try to get some rest here.